Sir, about your operation model, means as you said, you believe only in franchisee model. So means franchisee model, what are the basic requirement which we need to fulfill?
Okay. We actually, it's not that we only believe in franchising model, we do have our own outlets as well. But a franchise model is a model which is already been tried and tested abroad. And we didn't have to reinvent the wheel, we only have to follow in the footsteps. And a basic requirement of the franchisee would definitely, he should be sound financially, he should have space, he should be present himself while running the show, and most of it he should have the passion for this kind of a business. If he's not committed, if he doesn't have the passion, if he's not interested, no matter he has money, but he won't be able to go a long way, because money is not the only thing you need to run this business. You need to have a lot of commitment and liking towards this kind of a industry.
As you said, means this is a kitchenless model. So why you opted as a kitchenless model, and how you manage the supply chain portion of the kitchenless model? And suddenly, if the demand comes in the particular area, so how you fulfill all the demands?
The central kitchen concept, as I told you, the food was demanded in small portions, and we had to retail it. And the first outlet what we got was a very small space which could not accommodate a kitchen. We already had an established kitchen, and we started supplying to this outlet. And then from there, in about a year's time, we grew into 2 more outlets. And when those 2 more outlets came, and we kept supplying from the main kitchen, because these places were small too, and we could manage it pretty well. So we could manage it well, and it was saving us a lot of money, in terms of manpower, skilled manpower, overhead costs, and only overhead costs we had to bear was the transportation. And the quality could be maintained because it was under direct supervision in one place and cooked by a specific number of skilled people. So that way it was all advantageous to us. It was an accidental thing but proved good for us, and we still continue the same way. And how do we manage it is, it's a little scientific method, in the sense that we observe the sale patterns of a particular outlet. When it starts, for the first 3 weeks we observe it, and in the next for the first 6 to 8 weeks we observe, and that actually sets the trend for the rest of the days to come ahead. Then we mark out special occasions, the festivals, the holidays, so the trend changes. So when the first festival comes, we understand how it is. That is the only risk, that one day is a risky day because we don't know how it's going to react. And then we make notes on that, and then we set it, hey, this is the day and this is the festival, or on this particular holiday the customer reacts in such a manner, and then we go by it. It becomes a Bible for the rest of the outlets and for the days to come. And we do take a little beating, because there is a certain percentage of loss, yes, which we have to accept, because we do not invest in a kitchen every time we put an outlet. So maybe that's covered through the loss. We have to bear the loss, because we don't recycle food, and we cannot recycle food, and we should not be recycling food. We are honest to the customer. We sell fresh food to the customer. If the food runs out pretty early, sometimes there are days when food runs out by 10 o'clock, it's okay with us. Customer will know that the food is over, and they can't do anything about it. They might go to some other place. That's a loss for us, but yes, we can't do anything about it. At the same time, we cannot have extra ordered and have leftovers for the day, or recycle the food for the customer.